Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Intimate Encounters with Adam
Samantha.
and one of my closest friends, actually my longest standing friends, I would say my best friend, Dale. So this guy is, today we're going to be talking about children and how they impact relationships, how they impact your life. So Dale, if you could quickly tell us, like, why is this topic important to you, and why did you want to come on the show?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Adam. Hi, Sam. Obviously, it's important to me because it has impacted my life more than anything that's happened to me beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything put together, totally changes your life. And there's a lot of things that, it's not just as black and white as have a child with someone and be happy forever. And that's it. And especially when you're my age. So when I found out I was having a baby, I was 21. So it's been quite a roller coaster. So happy for you guys to ask whatever you like, and I'll genuinely do my best to answer. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Do you wanna? Could you tell us that? Could you tell us? I know we've spoken about it like a lot in off camera, but could you tell us like what it was like? I know now you've said to me several times that there's like this line in your life that's like pre-child and post-child. Can you talk about some of the big differences?
Of course I can. Yeah, sure. So I do say, I have said to you about Adam quite a lot. Pre-Leo, post-Leo.
Yeah.
So my son's called Leo, by the way. And what I mean by that, it's not specifically memories that occurred before or after. It's the mentality of being what I would class as truly free. I think if you make the choice to commit to your child, then there's always that consideration. I feel like before Leo was born, even if I was in like a relationship, if I wanted to just go out all weekend or go off the grid or do whatever, I just didn't take anything half as seriously. But now my job means that. So my job means financial security for my ex, where she lives. So that's a home for my child. I also pay for most of his nursery. So if I lost my job, he wouldn't be able to go to nursery. Just the mentality of everything I do now, I have to consider what I'm doing the next day, but in a much, much, much more serious way. So when I say to you like, oh, pre-Leo, it was just almost like not a care in the world. Like, you want to go to Bansko for a month? Realistic, why not? But but now the idea of me going anywhere for a month, I think I'd miss him too much. I mean, So it just changes so many things. Yeah.
Like, what was a typical weekend like pre-Leo, and what's a typical weekend like now?
Right. Okay. So that's probably the biggest difference. So my weekends meant going out. So even when I was with his mum, we used to party harder than anyone I know. We used to go out all the time through the week, and then when weekend came, it was just out all weekend. Whereas now, because we're not together, I have my son pretty much every weekend, all weekend, from Friday night until Sunday night. So, I mean, that's just a total opposite, really. So if anything, if I go out now, it's in the week, and I'll try not to go out in the weekend when I'm with him. So it's just a total flip side. Yeah.
I feel just like you have some questions.
I also like staying on this topic. So what were you doing before and what were you doing after? Like, I know, like 21 years old, I was in university. And if I had gotten pregnant and decided to have a kid at that point, then I might have dropped out, or I might have, completely changed my career path. Like, for example, I have a friend who, in her 4th year of university, she wanted to be an archaeologist, had gone on a bunch of gigs, got pregnant, and decided to keep the child
Yeah.
Now she is like a fitness coach, or what else does she do? She like, sold this multi-level marketing scheme. She did that for a while, and it's just like, in my opinion, her life went to shit. But like, would you say that like your path changed a lot, or did it maybe get better in terms of work?
So I think having a child when I did actually saved me in a way. So I was working full time anyway, but I was working for a company where it was just like a without the money, it was almost like, have you seen the film The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. A coke fueled madhouse.
Okay.
I'll be telling you, yeah, not proud, So I ended up basically when I found out that Melissa is my son's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I was keeping the baby, I actually left the best paid job I ever had. So I had a promotion, and I was like the youngest junior manager they'd ever had. And I really liked my job, but it was, there was a lot of drugs and partying involved. And I basically, I left and took a job, maybe, I mean, seriously, like half the money, working more hours.
Wow.
Because I couldn't try and be a father and stay at that company, because it was just crazy. There was no chance. No one else had children, and if they did, they weren't, in my opinion, the best parents. It would have been impossible. So I left that job, and took a job as like a delivery driver for Argos, and worked way more hours and crazy hours. But then in the long run, it's had a massively positive impact, because I've now got the best paid job I've ever had. And I think my son sort of gave me an initiative to sort of, I don't know, just keep sort of pushing up a little bit and make more money. And I don't think I'd have the, if I didn't have a son, I probably would have cocked up the job. I probably would have got fired. So it definitely reshapes everything as well. And then, you mentioned your friend became like a fitness guru person. You also start to take that more seriously as well. So I'm like training more and doing more physical activity, like football, running and cycling and stuff, than I ever have before. Since he's been born, it's been a massive part of it. Yeah, because I want to be able to keep up with him.
For sure.
Yeah. But in terms of the work, I think, you could go two ways. If you had like, if you were at university or something like that, I think it could. Yeah, I don't like to think about that. Yeah, it probably have a negative impact on you. I think it'd be very difficult if you were at university, if you're a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
You wanted to try and have a baby through all of that. I can't imagine doing that. I think if you're working full time, depending on how you are, if you've already got your life together, maybe incredibly cool thing. But if you didn't have your life together, like I didn't really, I was just coasting, partying all the time. Yeah, it was a really positive thing.
Yeah, I think from like knowing you through that time, I like agree so much. Like I think I always loved seeing you, because it was like party, fun, like exciting, and it still is whenever we meet up. But like, if you're doing that all the time, like 24/7, obviously that's fun to an extent. But now I feel like it seems like you realize that isn't what you really wanted, and and now you've got like a proper reason to change. Because I swear we'd spoken about it before. You're like, oh, like maybe I should stop, or I'm not sure I should be doing this. But then maybe relapse is too strong a word, but you kind of just you'd go back to it, But now, like after like Leo's like 2.5 now, right?
Yeah.
And it's just been like such a positive change I've seen in you as well, man. Like, and it's just like you seem happier, you seem more focused, you're definitely healthier. There's this like sparkle in your eyes and drive to do more. And I think it's because, yeah, you have that like, you're not just living for you anymore. You're living for like your son and making the world better for him. And I think that's like, it's such an amazing
Right. That's right. That is, yeah, definitely. So yeah, exciting times. But don't get me wrong. I mean, I think part of it is, you know, any parent or anyone, even like, you know, like Mum of the Year or whoever, yeah, they'll still occasionally go out and get absolutely slaughtered. But I think you appreciate it more.
Yeah.
You appreciate it more. So like, you know, say if you like make plans to go on like a weekend or something like that, or even if it's like a mate's birthday, but then you think, you know what, sack it, I'm not doing anything in the morning or the day after. All right, just go for it. Yeah. So that, I mean, that happens. That still happens. But you regret it more. You regret it more when you have children, especially if you have to spend time with them and you're slightly like,
yeah.
You know, I've been in situations where I've been with Leo, and luckily he's only 2.5, so you can't really be like, Dad, you look rough. You know, you can't say that, but I think if he was older, he'd be like, Jesus. And the coffee's coming. But yeah, you still do it. You still go out, and it's not like your social life is dead. But yeah, it just requires a bit more effort and planning. That's all.
And how have your like relationships changed since having a kid? So like, what were you like? What was your dating life beforehand, and what is it like now?
Okay, so I've never been shy with women. I've been fairly lucky enough to have known and I've been in relationships pretty much steadily since I was like 14.
Okay.
I figured out the other day how long I've been single in the last 10 years, and it was probably like less than 6 months.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know it is.
Like the opposite with relationships in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Genuinely, yeah. Love a relationship, yeah.
Okay.
So I think one thing was like when me and my son's mum broke up, and I wasn't initially like, looking for anything else because I knew it'd be very complicated. Like it does change everything straight away. So now, you know, when I met my current girlfriend, one of the first things we spoke about was the fact that I have a baby. I feel like, you know, if I met someone and I didn't mention that, you know, say if I was single now and I was going out, I feel like it's probably as big as it can get. You'd have to mention that from day one.
100%. I'd run in the opposite direction if you told me you had a child. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Puppy.
There's a guy as well, like, I don't know, it is strange it was strange saying, you know, I've got a baby. You kind of accept this. You see, I've not spent long in that time frame of having a baby and looking for someone who isn't the mum and being like, oh, and watching people run away, like you said. I was fairly fortunate. I just found someone who was amazing straight away after. I wasn't even looking. But I can imagine, or I can remember, it is fairly daunting thinking, you know, I'm like 22, I've got a baby. And like most other 22, 20 odd year olds or whatever, or even if you're younger than that, you're either, like you say, like single at university or no commitments. You know, to take somebody else's child on board is a massive thing.
Yeah.
There were moments when I was like, am I ever going to find anyone who I like actually want to be with, who then like, A, doesn't have like 20 kids already. I can't be bothered with like, not can't be bothered, but like, it you know, hats off to people, hats off to my girlfriend, for instance, who is like an amazing, almost like a stepmom with my son. I think I'd really struggle if I was single and meeting people to then like specifically choose to commit to someone who was like, had a baby with someone else. Is that bad to say?
Yeah.
Like,
I just said that. Yeah, like, for sure, no.
Like, I'd struggle with that. I would really struggle with that. so, you know, hats off to people who it's not an issue. But yeah, I definitely struggle with it. But I can remember definitely feeling apprehensive about, you know, like, oh, I'm going to go out, meet someone, and then just be like, nice to meet you. But I've got a baby, so.
Yeah.
I did run that head. I was like, how many months am I just going to be like meeting people I really like, and then just be like, yeah, got a baby. But one thing I've realised is that it's not actually that much like that.
What is it?
So when you become a parent, yeah, you realise that just you're still, you know, you're still a person. You're still. So, like, for instance, with dating, Sam, and stuff, like I've spoken to Adam about this, like before I had a child, I'd consider like women with children to be like almost like, oh, they wouldn't be interested in me, or like some sort of like more responsible, higher being kind of like they've, you know, whereas realistically now I'm a dad, so like, you know, women with children, they're just women. They're just kids, like they're not, you know, not like a dad, like, oh, he's a dad, like, oh. It's just a guy who's like, who has a baby. So it also breaks down a lot of like stigmas and walls and stuff about, you know, like before I had a baby, I probably would have never thought that someone with a baby would have ever wanted to be with me. But now you just realise we're all just people. Some of us have children and some of us don't. So that's one positive that's come from it. But yeah, when it first happened, if you do break up with your partner and that was the person you had a child with, it is daunting thinking, I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life being like, and I have a child. But you get over it pretty quick, yeah.
See, but like for me, like if I, like one of the biggest reasons that I would be upset by this is because of my, like I travel constantly, just out of my own personal wanting to. So if I met a kid that had a kid, I'd be like, well, he obviously wants to stay here with his kid. It's not like I can just like take the kid and just like fuck off with it. Like there's a person in the picture. I mean, I guess it would be a little bit different if it was like actually their kid or the kid was older, or like there'd be a lot of other things involved with that. Like, for example, when I am, you know, 10 years from now, like I don't want to have kids of my own, but if I met a guy in 10 years and he's like, I have a kid, I'd be like, cool. Like I don't mind kids. I just don't want to have any of my own kids. So then I'd be like, cool, like you can now get along with your kid. It's fine. Everything's cool, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, right now at this stage of my life, I just don't see myself in a space where I can even have a dog or a cat, because I mean, maybe for the next 18 months, depending on the virus, but.
Totally right. So like there's a certain demographic of people who would literally be actually possible to be with someone who has a child. Like, they come out that cleanly, but what I mean is, you know, if I met someone and they did travel, it'd just be, that's it, I can't come with you. I'm geographically anchored here.
Exactly.
So that's a big thing. Like I've spoke about it so many times to so many of my friends. If you do choose to commit to a child's life, you're stuck where they're going to be.
Yeah.
And you know, like my ex has no plan. He's fairly happy in Manchester, so that's me. I'll be in Manchester primarily forever.
Yeah.
Until my son gets to an age where he can do his own thing. Until he's doing his own thing. But I've chosen to be, you know, I'll be with him and support him. For his, you know, young, you know, through his whole childhood, and through his young adult life. So, you know, I'll go on holidays. But that's it. That's it. The idea of moving anywhere, it's just not possible. It's just, I've just made the choice that that's not possible. It's something that's never going to happen. So if I met someone and we were like romantically involved, and they were like, yeah, I want to take like a year out or like 6 months out, I just have to let go. So then that begs the question, if we met and I knew that was the case in the first place, I'd just be like, it's not going to work. It can't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a massive group of people it just never worked with. So I get that. I totally get that. You know, I'd never and yeah, if you were with someone that were traveling a lot or traveling all over the world, you want to be with them, or you want to be able to like meet up with them every now and then, or yeah, that makes it so much more complicated. It's almost impossible. Yeah, so, can't do that.
I'm really curious. I feel like it's almost backtracking a bit, but I wanna know. So what was your relationship like with your partner that you did have a child with? Like, how long did you date? How did you meet? Like, why did you break up? You know, like just all of that kind of stuff. And what's your relationship with like with her now? That was a lot of questions, but if I
No,
I'll
absolutely fine.
there.
So we met at the job I previously mentioned that I left.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was a trainer. Trained her up.
Yes.
Yeah. So then we started like going out. Yeah, we used to party hard a lot. So it went from sort of working together and then going out after work to then I was just like, yeah, let's stop going out with everyone else. Like, let me take you out. And then we worked together and we were together for quite some time. I think we worked together for easily over a year while we were together as well. And then we'd go out all weekend. We were out a lot. I think she then moved in with me at my parents' house. Actually, before I found out she was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were still going out all the time. We used to play video games a lot.
Wait, so how long were you together before she moved in with you? Ish.
I really don't.
Or how long were you together before she got pregnant?
Probably about a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were together for about a year and a half, I think, before she got pregnant. There we go. So we used to go out all the time. Great social life. We had loads of friends that we worked with. She was all right friends with my friends. It was very fast paced. Yeah, it was good. It was good. We were like the best friends. We were like best friends. We used to do everything together. We used to have the same interests. Half of that was just doing all sorts of crazy stuff. We used to love playing video games together. So we'd come home and just do that for hours. Same crazy tastes in like TV, music, like music as well. Loads of things actually. Yeah, it was really good. And then obviously Melissa didn't know she was pregnant for some time. She just thought she wasn't well for a bit. Complicated, strange story. I'm not going to go into it too much. And then she was off work and pretty much like on the sick. And then we found out she was pregnant, and she was going to keep it. So that all happened. I got told that. There wasn't much of a consultation. It was just like, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping it. If you want to be part of our life. So I sort of went away and over a couple of days just decided I was going to do that. We were a bit rocky before then. So it came to a surprise to me. I thought I was going to see her one night for us to like properly break up. And then what actually happened was she was like, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping it. So you're going to be a dad. So I was like, right, okay. Then so then I left my job because I was like, right, I can't be a dad because the job's too crazy. Yeah. Started delivery driving at Argos, and then we got our own first flat together that wasn't my parents' house. Not like sort of outside of Manchester. And it was good. We were both tired, stressful, anxious. It starts to take its toll after a while. I'm not going to badmouth her, but there were certain things that she was still doing that I wasn't happy with at all. You know, from my point of view, I was like, you've asked me to come on this journey with you and support you 100%, and I am doing my best to. I'm working like 1,000,000 hours a week. I'm barely seeing my friends, and like, you know, I'm just asking you to do a couple of like things, and you're struggling to, or you seems like you can't do them. She became increasingly sort of just hostile towards me. I don't think she wanted to be. I think she just was. I think pregnancy affects people in lots of different ways. It's going to be really hard because, you know, we spoke about it and she's almost said, like, even though, like, I loved you and I was happy and all of this, like, I just was angry all the time. And, you know, if someone is angry all the time, it's like, trying to calm certain people down, trying to calm Melissa down is impossible. So being like, calm down or anything like that, it just, you should go even more crazy. But then also, like, you know, going away or trying to step away from the situation would only just fuel the fire. So it was hard, really hard. I was working all the time. I was tired all the time. She was tired. She suffered with like morning sickness that then just dragged in like most of the day. And we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was the first time I'd ever not lived with my parents. Yeah, just looking back, it was just an incredibly stressful, tiring experience. And then you start getting all these weird anxieties. So like I went from like not even wanting a baby to then being in love with someone's belly at this stomach. And then if anything happened to the baby, even before I knew it was a boy or a girl, I would have been absolutely devastated. Like, more devastated than if I lost both my parents at the same time, to put it into perspective. And that was before I'd even met the baby. It's absolutely
crazy.
Yeah, and then for me, if my mum wasn't taking or doing her bit, in my opinion, to like help with doing what she could for the baby in terms of like food or I'm not saying she like binge drank when she was pregnant. There were definitely a few nights where I was like, what are you doing? You know? And then that causes massive tensions and stuff, and it's an incredibly stressful time for both of you. Yeah, so that started to take its toll. And then after he was born, it was great. I was like madly in love with my son. We moved home. I was still working. Melissa was still not working.
Can I quickly interrupt?
Yeah.
Can you tell the story of what it was like when you found out what gender the baby was?
Yeah, sure. All right, I'll come back to where I was. When I found out I was a boy, I was absolutely ecstatic. Like, I pretty much got told by the hospital security to like calm down and shut up. I was like screaming and jumping in the air. I like ran out the room and like ran back in. Oh God, I was so happy. So I wanted a boy.
Yeah.
I've always wanted a little boy. I didn't plan to have one the age I did, but I always knew I wanted a little boy. First, but also if I had to choose one forever, it'd definitely be a little boy. So to find out you're having a perfectly healthy baby boy, yeah. And I'll be totally honest with you both. I think I would have struggled a lot more through everything if I was having a girl. And I know that sounds bad.
Wow.
Girls are awesome.
No, I love women. I love girls, Sam. But
he does.
I just mean to have a daughter. I just felt like I would have connected with a boy much better because I'm quite a laddish lad.
Yeah.
Like, hey lads, football lads. Hey. So, and even though I've got a side, Jesus Christ, I was dreading having a daughter. I was like losing sleep over it. I was like, I was praying to a God I don't even believe in. Seriously, you don't understand. I was so happy. It was like literally winning the lottery and finding out, like, I don't know, just everything at once. I was so happy. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, going back to where we were, but yeah, I was ecstatic. But going back to that, I think Melissa struggled more after he was born. Not being a mum, she's a great mum. Just with other things. So, like, you know, I'd be working all the time, and then her mum, Melissa's mum. I don't know how much I should just bash her because, like, this is a thing that's public. In my opinion, I know. I was trying my damn hardest for a long, long time, and still do to some degree. And she just never, I don't know, wanted to accept that I was trying, or I just firmly believe she didn't like me for some reason. So her mum used to, you know, she never really support us anyway, like my family have done. Like, shout out to my mum and dad, legends. But she'd call her up when he was like a couple of weeks old and like persuade her to go on a night out, and then I'd be there till like 3 a.m. Like, where are they? Like, I have to go to work in an hour. And I've come from like a 10-hour shift, been awake since yesterday, and now it's like I've had no sleep still, and I'm gonna have to go to work and do another 10-hour shift. And yeah, so then that didn't help things. We just argued a lot. It really, really took its toll. It got to a stage where I was like, I'm working all the time, coming home and looking after my son. I get she needed a break, but then I'd be like, oh, I've like been working all day, and then, you know, why are you going out till like 4 or 5 a.m. with your mum when we've got like a couple-week-old baby? But I suppose that was her like escape from everything because we both needed it, because it is stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just deteriorated. So we were arguing more and more and more. And it got to the stage where I was saying, I'm doing everything I can. And you're just not happy with at all anymore. Like, there's no respite, there's no break. Like, what do you want me to do? The amount of times I was like, what more can I do? What, you know? And I really tried to make it work for a while, and it just didn't. It just fell apart, and it got to a stage where love her to bits, but, you know, my ex is quite feisty is a good word, and I can be too.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
some incredibly heated moments.
Cold and the hot in order to.
Yeah, incredibly heated moments. So I just got to a stage where I was like, for now, I'd rather leave now and it be painful than spend the next 5 years arguing and bring my son up in an environment where we're just arguing and shouting at the top of our voices all the time. So I left. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I was leaving. Yeah, just because the maternal, all these instincts kick in especially when it's a newborn, and all you want to do is be around them. Like, I still do it now. I still have to check my son's breathing at least twice after I put him to sleep before I can sleep.
Oh.
But yeah, I had to leave. And then she stayed in the flat for a bit. I moved back in with my parents / grandma. Well, I say nana. We say nana in England. We don't say grandma. It's some American shit.
I say nana, but my nana's from England. So.
I say grandma.
Yeah, Adams. I don't know.
Irish, isn't it? Irish.
Yeah. So moved back in. The relationship with my son's mum has continued to be unique since I left. So, you know, me finding someone else and getting with someone else, she really struggled with that. But I do everything I can to support her. I see my son every weekend. I also go down to her house and do things like we're doing her garden at the minute.
Yeah.
So even though we're together, we spent like all weekend together last weekend just doing like her garden, because I'll always help her with stuff, with anything. And we're good friends now.
Mhm.
You know, we spoke about it all. And yeah, now the dust's kind of settling. There are still moments when it's difficult, when it's complicated. But we're definitely, yeah, we're good friends. We never argue anymore to the point where it's going mad. We might disagree and then just leave it there, but then we'll be fine again. But we don't, you know, we don't argue. I mean, I think we talk and communicate a lot more in a logical way for my son, you know, like sorting out all of his nursery and things like that. And every now and then I'll go down to a house and we'll just have dinner and talk about like the future of my son and where we're going and what's going on, because it's always changing. Yeah, and it's good that we can do that. It's good that we can do that. A lot of couples can't do that. A lot of couples truly hate you forever, you know? They hate each other. And it's sad. It's sad. We'll never be like that. We'll never be like that. So even though it's complicated sometimes and it hurts and, you know, it's weird because there are two people that I'll be sort of around all the time forever with no doubts, and it's her and my son. So even though we're not together,
Yeah.
You know, you could argue that we have a really strong relationship and will be for sort of the rest of our lives because of my son.
Mhm.
So that's a weird one. So you never really, you know, we break up, but it's never like saying goodbye to someone who's the parent of your child. You know, they're always going to be there. You're always going to have some form of relationship with them. So coming to terms with all that's all fun and games. Yeah, but no, we're all right now. We're all right. Yeah.
So you may have noticed a weird cut right there. It's because we needed to pause for other things. Anyway, Dale, wow. Riveting story. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like I although we've been like such good friends for so long, like I wouldn't say I like knew the whole story like that. And like just like I just feel so much like gratitude, no, maybe that's not the right word, but just like proud of you, and just like
Thanks, man.
I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing. And
yeah.
Like especially when you said about you having a good relationship with Melissa, because I know, so my parents got divorced when I was 6 or 7. And I still remember my dad like sitting down and telling us he was leaving. And their relationship's never been the same. And I remember when I was younger, I had a friend whose parents were also divorced, and the dad like came round to the mum's house and they like sat down and had tea together and they like had a conversation and seemed nice to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, man, like that's so amazing. Like to this day, like my parents got divorced like over 15 years ago. Maybe even coming up to 20 years ago, they still can't have a conversation. There's still so much tension in the house, and we talk about it. Me and my sisters have spoken about it a lot. Like it's led to a lot of stuff that we've had to process ourselves. And I just think it's so amazing that you're putting the effort in. And I think that if you carry on the way you do, then like Leo won't have like the problems that I've had and like that broken homes can have. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I think you know, we've spoke about it, that it's a big thing for him to see us being okay with each other.
Yeah.
And we still do stuff as like, you know, mummy, daddy and Leo, you know. So like on Mother's Day, we all went out for the day. And yeah, I will always try and do that, because, you know, I don't want him to think that you have to be a team.
For sure.
Even if we're not together, we'll always be Team Leo.
Yeah.
So we've spent that. So that's nice, you know. you have to put all of the other shit aside. You have to. And I can imagine sometimes it's harder for my ex to do that because I think she still has feelings a bit longer than I did. So that's always complicated and difficult. But yeah, we'll always just try and spend some time, us three, with his mum and his dad. And I think it's important for him to see that even though I'm not there all the time, I'll always support not just him, but his mum as well. And I'd never, I don't think we'd ever slag each other off to my son. I don't think we'll ever do that. Yeah, it is important because I don't want him to grow up thinking that I don't know, that we're against each other or something like that. And then also, I think, if you start doing that, or if you are totally separate, then it's almost like he's living like a double life with each parent. Whereas if he sees that we communicate quite a lot and we can all spend time with each other, then we're on the same page in terms of like discipline and things like that.
Yeah.
It's important that we speak a lot about these things as he grows up, because if she's doing a certain thing at home with him, then we should be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Different sort of allowances, tolerances with things. Yeah, discipline's a big one. He's only 2.5, but he's a little man now, so you have to consider everything. So yeah, just being on the same page and talking about all that stuff is incredibly important. And it's nice, if Melissa's currently on her own with a baby pretty much all the time. So I suppose it's nice for her as well if we get on.
Yeah.
Because it'd be mad if we get on and I was just, a dick all the time and just came round and took him and ran away. And yeah, I'm never going to be like that. It's never going to be like that. So it is important. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot to digest. I think, my mom, I think I talk about her in every episode, and she's just like, I'm not gonna watch any of your episodes because I don't want to hear about me. She was always like a very firm believer, and she still thinks this. Like, my parents are still together, they're married, but growing up, they fought a lot. Like a lot. And I'm like, they're definitely gonna get a divorce, but her view is like, you're in it to be there for the children. I don't know if that really helped watching my parents fight all the time. So I think it would have actually been better if they had separated like you guys did, because you guys did fight a lot. And therefore it was better for the child in order to not have to see these types of arguments in the home. They're good now, but like, while I had these formative years, I saw this relationship unfolding in this way, and I think that definitely did negatively affect me. So I just kind of wanted to share that and just say like, yeah, kudos to you, and like, it's really cool that you're able to have that relationship. And I think that if I ever did have child or decided to have a child, I would make every freaking effort to never ever fight with my partner, like no matter what, because it's not fun being in a home like that, seeing like the two people that brought you into the world
fight
along. Like, it's not like you have to be best friends. Like, you can fight secretly. I don't know. Like, just don't do it in front of me.
Yeah.
Show that you're united front. Show me that you like each other. Smile. It's like, you can't say, hey, Sam, why are you being mean to that kid? It's like, maybe because I just heard you doing the exact same thing. So, yeah. Anyway.
It is a big thing. And it was hard, for a while. I was like, should I try and, is staying the better option? It's weird to have to take a step back for the greater good. You want to be around your children all the time. You want to be around, you want to be with them every day. So to then think, no, in the long run, this is probably better. It was difficult, yeah. But I think it is. I think we're both much happier now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's happier because we're happier. So, you know, if there is anyone out there and you know they're in the rut, or they think, you know, I'm only staying because of my child, I don't think that's necessarily the right thing to do.
Mm.
In some cases it is, but for me, no, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. And yeah, glad I left because I was fairly lucky growing up with my mum and dad, where even though they argue, they don't go crazy. Like my mum's crazy, my dad's very calm and
Chill. Super chill. Yep.
but you know, I mean, people argue, but they were never like fighting crazy and stuff. And I just saw us getting to a stage where we were like basically like, yeah, parents that I wouldn't want to be. So yeah. So not doing it.
Yeah.
Not doing it. No. So yeah.
I think that's like, I think we all agree really that seems like the best thing really, and that it's worked out well.
Yeah.
And yeah, what's it like, because it's been quite like heavy, this talk. What is it like now? You know, like what is it, how do you feel when you're with Leo? What do you love doing with him? What plans you have for the future?
It's great. So I've realised as well, I'm actually like pure happiest when he's happy and I'm with him.
Yeah.
Over anything. So it's actually really nice. You know, you don't have, in one way it's like a massive responsibility, and then in another way I could be having like a really bad day, and then I'll go and get him, or I'll go and be with him, and just his laugh or his smile or anything will just make you so happy. You know, children in general, but especially I think if it's your own child, it's just so nice. Because all you want to do is make them happy. As long as they're happy and healthy, you're happy. So in a way, if you've got like a happy child, you can just be happy all the time. Like you don't even have to try. No, it's great. I love spending time with him. He's my, you know, apart from you, he's my best friend.
Good save.
Yeah, great. Just doing things that just wouldn't be that enjoyable, are just incredible. Just bring you such warmth and happiness. So, like going to the park. Like if we went to the park for an hour, Adam, after a while, I'd just be like, "Why are we here? This is rubbish." But when you're a child, it's great. If he wants to climb up the same ladder and go down the same slide 60 times, yeah, fine with me. I'll be laughing and smiling the whole way. It's great. Drawing with him at the moment, so he's learning how to draw more. You know, everything I do, I try to educate him in something as well, so it's not just all aimless. We do just clown around sometimes and like roll around and be stupid, and all of that stuff's great as well. So you can just be a total idiot and you don't have to worry about any judgment whatsoever. There's no judgment at all. Even like when you're stupid and silly with like your partner, you can't be as totally stupid than with a child, because they just don't care. So you can, you know, I'm not going to do it, but you know, you can do anything or say anything or speak in any voice or yeah, it's just great. Reading with him. He likes reading books and drawing, playing football. So I love playing football. So like I remember the first time he kicked a ball to me, I was like so happy. Just little things like that, because as they grow up, you know, you can do new stuff pretty much every day. So like you could learn they learn very quick. So like, yeah, they just blow your mind every day. So it's really nice. It's refreshing. And he's always in a good mood. He's either in a good mood or tired, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
That's like you.
So, like,
Yeah, it's kind of like.
It's like
Adam.
Yeah,
he naps a lot, or he's happy. Like it's
Yeah.
that's it. So yeah, no, it's great. Honestly, it's great because then he's sort of like, you know, if you're not feeling it, he'll kind of like lift my mood
Mm.
because he's always smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's nice. It's really nice. But I just love doing stuff with him outdoors, taking him to the park. Yeah, everything. Reading, drawing. I say reading and drawing a lot. We do a lot of reading and drawing.
It's a good skill. Important.
Yeah, loads of things. Singing. He started singing a lot now. Dancing.
He's a good dancer.
Great.
When I went round to visit Dale and Leo, and they played, what is it? Baby Shark? Is that it?
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
No, Baby Shark. I've heard that at restaurants and dance go, and I'm like, why? Why?
I even play.
I'd never heard it before, and they just started playing it on YouTube, and he just started bouncing around, having the best time, and I was like, "This is insane!" And he was
This
just
is it. They're
guy.
just so happy. Like
just the joy.
they can't have a bad day. They just he's so happy all the time. And it is nice. And then when he's tired, you get a break, and then you appreciate. You know, if you were just sat around doing nothing, you probably wouldn't appreciate it as much. If you have to be like go all day, if he has like a nap, he doesn't nap as much now. Go to bed slightly earlier, but occasionally he'll still have a nap sort of midday or like late afternoon, and it's great. Just kind of like breathe and have a bit of time. Yeah, but it's really good. I love spending time with him. I love taking him everywhere, anywhere I can. To see loads of people. He's not shy anymore. When children are, sort of in between the ages of being born and 2, say he had shyness in the last 6 months. He's just not shy at all anymore with anyone, which is good because I can go in to see my family with him. Children bring such joy, especially to older people. I feel as a generalization, which is nice because if you're like, oh, what should we do, and you can just go and like take him to see like my aunties or uncles or whatever, and they'll just make his day. And love spending time with him.
I made my nana. She was my favorite person to hang out with when I was a kid. So I would go to her house all the time. My mom's like, awesome. You talk way too much. You can go hang out with Nana and see you on Monday. Good times.
So. I think that thing there with nanas, like feel like sometimes my son, if I'm with him and I'm with my mum, he'll like run to my mum instead of me.
Yeah.
Because I think grandparents are softer.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can get away with more.
And you get so many like treats and like cool stuff, and they're like, we're gonna do this extra cool stuff because we have all this time, and you're like, cool, let's do all this fun stuff. They're like, I got you a teddy bear this week. And I'm like, I want all of the teddy bears. Thank you. You love me more than my parents do.
I feel like that sometimes. Like my mum's like doing me over. Like I'm like, what? No, because I think because my parents are both retired as well. Like my mum and Nana will go shopping and they'll be like, look what we got him and this and that. And I'm always just on the go anyway. It doesn't mean I never buy my son anything or anything, but yeah, they definitely grandparents are a different kind of breed. 100%. Love it. But that was something I was going to mention to you guys actually. Oh, excuse me. Was an interesting one was the dynamic change between you and your parents compared to and then after children. So it just totally changes instantly. There's no like transitional period. They go from being like just you to then like a father or a mother, and they go from being, especially like for me, I don't have any brothers and sisters. Leo was my first child, so as soon as he was born, my mum and dad were like Nana and Granddad now. They were no longer just parents; they were grandparents, and in a way, it changes everything. It's really strange. So like I'll call most of the time when my son's round, I'm calling them Nana and Granddad instead of Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
But everything, I don't know, everything changes in a way that's like, my dad's a granddad now. He's not like, I don't know. I feel like it aged them both
Yeah.
about a decade.
Yeah.
Old, Mom.
I remember, Dale, when you told me about this for the first time, and you were like, it's my time now, parents.
I'm like the current, like, I don't know. You view yourself as like, no offense to my dad now, but he's just like out.
Yeah.
It's like I'm the one out there, like
doing it.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, that's nice, Granddad,
Yeah.
But I'm the dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
It's weird, like, yeah, it totally changes the dynamic. So instead of, I think your parents give you less shit as well because they're just like, welcome to the club now.
Your life is over.
Yeah, that's
Burn.
that is pretty much it. So yeah, I think they're there like, well, son, you've had your fun pissing around now, but you'll soon understand. You'll soon understand everything, and you do. I think you appreciate everything. Like where I mean, we all sort of understand our parents more as we get older. But I think fast track to just being on the exact same page with them about pretty much everything is having a child, because then we're all on the same team for my son.
Yeah.
So like my mum and dad now, they love my son way more than they love me. Which isn't like a bad thing. It sounds weird saying it like that.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
But it's true.
Ah. I didn't
True,
realize.
Yeah. But I do as well. I love him more than I love them or love me. So it's okay.
You already made that very painfully clear at the beginning of this talk. They can just both die.
Yeah, you literally said that.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wouldn't care.
Wouldn't care.
As long as it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. That's the fact.
But they'd understand that,
Yeah.
But that's what it totally changes everything. So like, yeah, so all of a sudden then it's no longer like your mum and dad being on a team and looking after you.
Yeah.
You're like part of you're all on the same weird team then, and there's someone else you're all.
Yeah.
Like your mum and dad's like where they could ask you to, like my mum and dad, and I live with them, but they couldn't really ask me to do anything. If I didn't want to do it, I'd just be like, listen, Granddad, like I'm not doing that. Like, what are you talking about? Whereas beforehand, like, oh no, they're my parents, I should listen to them. But now it's like,
nah.
Listen, Granddad. I can totally imagine him actually saying that. Like, you are the type of guy, Dale, who would say that. That's why I love it so much.
I don't know, I probably have.
You probably have.
And that, like when they're giving me like advice or things like this now, it's all a different kind of flavour. Like it's not like, I think up to a certain age, your parents almost give you instruction instead of just talk to you about things.
Yes.
I think when you become a parent yourself, that's your main. If you are committed to being a parent, raising your child is pretty much like you have a good job so you can look after you and also then your child as well. So everything else you're doing in your life is for your own happiness, but also your child. So I think your parents my parents get that now, so they just they don't mither me about the same crap they used to. They still do.
Yeah.
But I almost just, it just doesn't, it's not got the same weight behind it anymore. It doesn't really, not in a disrespectful way to my parents, but it just changed because you're like, yeah, well, I know, I'm a parent now. I understand, like, it doesn't, you don't have to, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you get my point. It's quite a strange point.
Totally.
But,
no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a nice way to kind of wrap up.
On a lighter note.
On a lighter note. And you're you've taken the baton now.
Taking it full circle.
Yeah.
You're running along with it, and it's your time to shine, and you've changed your life. it was tough, but now you've like got through it. You love Leo. You're super happy.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just on an upward trajectory.
And just like, you know, PSA, like wear condoms.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, depends.
Depends. Nah. But are you wearing condoms now is the real question. Is birth control a part of your life now?
No.
Have a Leo. What's the female version of Leo? Leopolata?
Leona.
Leona?
There we go.
Leona.
Leo and Leona.
Leo and Leona.
Back again. Old answers.
Well, it's funny actually. Like my current girlfriend has said eventually she wants children.
Yeah.
Of her own. So, I mean, I'd have another one.
Well,
would do it again. 10 out of 10.
Well, you know what? When she gets pregnant, we'll have to have you back.
We'll
on the
have
show.
to have you back on, man.
And we can have a play-by-play of how different the pregnancy this time is.
Yeah, definitely. But big shout out to you guys for having me on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
And it's not all doom and gloom for anyone out there. You know, children, it is really nice.
Yeah.
So
definitely like.
Might be life.
Yeah, one of the best things. I know you've said to me before, Dale, that it's like one of the best, if not the best thing that's ever happened to you.
I mean, I've heard that from every parent I've ever talked to, but that still doesn't make me want to go try heroin.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, but they don't. No.
It's not for everyone though. It's not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
No,
but that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure we would compare. I would compare children to heroin. But right, let's wrap it up now before we say something else. So thank you for listening this far. If you liked it, please like the video. Please subscribe on YouTube. If you want to come on the show, comment below. We're always looking for people to talk to about relationships. We think this is super important.
And tell your friends.
Yeah. All right. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.